Present.
Supervisor Stevens?
Okay, great. If I can ask the audience, please rise. And we will start with an invocation by Reverend Richard Loffman of the St. James Jerusalem Episcopal Church, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance. I think we'll have Jake Abbott lead that today, if you would, the Pledge of Allegiance. And let's go ahead.
Let us pray. Almighty and ever-living God, source of all wisdom and understanding, be present at this meeting, we pray. You have provided us with a vision of your kingdom to which we strive to achieve. Visit this meeting, we pray, guiding our discussions so that we open the ears of our hearts to listen to each other from each other's perspectives. Renew the ties of mutual regard which form our civic life. Enable us, and especially our supervisors, to work to eliminate poverty, prejudice, and oppression, so that peace may prevail with righteousness and justice with order, and that men and women from different cultures and with differing talents may find with one another the fulfillment of their humanity. Guide us to perceive what is right, and grant us both the courage to pursue it and the grace to accomplish it through your blessing day by day. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Reverend Loffman. And Jake, please lead us.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, you may be seated, except for the supervisors. We'll be standing for a bit. Got that? Okay.
Will Rebecca Blumling please join the board to receive a gold resolution in honor of your retirement from Sutter County?
You want to start? I'll start. How about that? Okay. Okay, Rebecca Blumling, Accounting Technician 2. The Sutter County Board of Supervisors takes this opportunity to present Rebecca Jeanette Blumling with a gold resolution in recognition of 29 years. Wow, that's a long time. All right. Dedicated service to the citizens of Sutter and Yuba counties. Ms. Blumling began her career with Sutter County on July 22, 1996 as an account clerk 1 for the Sutter Yuba Behavioral Health. On February 9, 1998, Ms. Blumling was promoted to account clerk 2, and on January 22, 2005, Ms. Blumling was promoted to account clerk 3, and then on June 24, 2024, Ms. Blumling was promoted to her current position as accounting technician 2. Throughout her career, Ms. Blumling carried out a wide range of critical fiscal responsibilities, including processing hospital claims, tracking and reconciling contracts, maintaining timekeeping records for 24-hour units, compiling data for state psychiatric facility reporting, assisting with professional fee and single case agreements, and much more. Wow. Ms. Blumling has been a cornerstone of the Sutter Yuba Behavioral Health fiscal operation and a trusted colleague to many. Her deep institutional knowledge, particularly around hospital claims and behavioral health billing, made her an invaluable resource. She built strong collaborative relationships across departments, always approaching her work with integrity, accuracy, and a positive spirit. And as she embarks on this new chapter, we extend our heartfelt gratitude for her years of outstanding service and contributions to our shared mission. Her presence will be deeply missed, but we celebrate the opportunities and joy that retirement will bring her. The Sutter County Board of Supervisors offers congratulations and sincere appreciation to Rebecca Blumling on the occasion of her retirement on October 3rd, 2025, and causes the names of each of its members to be affixed to this gold resolution as evidence of the board's individual and collective appreciation of 29 years of service for the county. Congratulations. And I'll have a few words.
Can I say something now?
Yeah, you want to go first? Who wants to go first, Sarah?
Back in 1996, I was working for a local shoe store in their office, and that was in May. You know, I'd been going to college, so I worked there for like 6 years, and I went to college at night. And I graduated from college in May 1996, and then right after that, 2 months later, I was hired by Sutter County. Wow. So, you know, I really want to thank everybody for allowing me to, you know, be a member of the team, and I really appreciate it. And, you know, it's been a great ride, and thank you all very much.
Awesome. I see you have your team here too. You have your fan club, right? So, and then we have Sarah would like to say a few words as well.
So Rebecca, you are so amazing. All of your colleagues here are a testament to that. We're going to miss you greatly. We appreciate how you kept us under budget and on time and our bills paid. But most importantly, we appreciate you. So Rick, anything you'd like to add?
So I've been around a little bit, and Rebecca's been here the whole time, and she's been an amazing part of the business office. She's always kept us straight and on course with all of our billing and keeps all of us clinicians in check, so I appreciate her. Thank you.
Let's give her another round of applause.
Will Olivia Sale and Aubrey Hunt, 4-H ambassadors, please join the board to receive a proclamation recognizing October 5th through the 11th, 2025 as National 4-H Week.
This is why I couldn't find a parking lot.
All right, we got a good group here. Who's going to accept the award? You'll want to come right here. Yeah, congratulations. He's going to hand you the reward. There, go ahead. Congratulations. Stand here. Yes.
Congratulations. Great job. Chairman Flores, we're behind if they just say their name and introduce themselves.
No, sure, that would be a good idea, yeah.
Just because it's part of their leadership.
No problem, yeah. Actually, I'm asking them who's going to speak as well, so so both of them are, so. Okay, before we start, I'm going to go down let's start by just introducing yourselves, and we'll go down the row here. So just introduce yourselves, and you want to tell some of us? And the club that you're in, and anything else you want to tell us, okay? So go ahead. Start here.
My name is Aubrey Hunt, and I've been in the Sutter Buttes 4-H Club for 9 years.
My name is Olivia Sal. This is my 5th year, and I'm in Franklin 4-H.
Awesome. And Jeff.
My name's Claire Brazzini, and I'm from Franklin 4-H, and I've been in the club for 4 years.
My name is Liv Bumpus. I'm from Franklin 4-H, and this is my 2nd year.
My name is Allie Bumpus, and I'm from Franklin 4-H, and this is my 2nd year.
My name is Avery, and this is my 1st year.
Okay, those were terrific introductions, and I have a special proclamation that I'm going to read. And this is National 4-H Week, October 5th through the 11th, 2025. This year's National 4-H Week theme, Beyond Ready, reminds us that 4-H is building a ready generation in a world of change and equips young people with skills for the future while meeting them where they are today. 4-H is America's largest youth development organization, supporting 6 million youth across the country. Wow, I had no idea. That's amazing. Okay. Expanding from its strong agricultural roots, 4-H helps young people explore the world around them and grow into productive adults. Sutter County 4-H youth and volunteers actively contribute to the community through service learning projects, leadership development, and participation in bi-county events such as the Yuba Sutter Fair, the Club Officer Training, County 4-H Presentation Day, County Fashion Review, and Community Service Days. Supporting future leaders in science, agriculture, and community leadership is an important imperative for the U.S. Department of Agriculture National Institute of Food and Agriculture 4-H program. The Sutter County Board of Supervisors do hereby proclaim October 5th through the 11th, 2025 as National 4-H Week throughout Sutter County and encourage all our citizens to recognize 4-H for the significant impact it has made and continues to make by empowering youth with skills they need to lead for a lifetime. So I'm going to have you say a few words. Who's going first? Okay, there you go.
On behalf of Sutter County 4-H, we would like to sincerely thank the Sutter County Board of Supervisors for recognizing National 4-H Week with this proclamation. Your support helps highlight the importance of youth development, leadership, and community service in our county.
Sutter County 4-H has 6 clubs with over 200 members and 80 volunteers. Our upcoming events include the Fall Fair, 4-H Craft Day, Veterans Day Parade, and Christmas Parade. We are grateful for your continued encouragement of our 4-H members and programs. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you. Let's give them a round of applause. You want to say anything? Okay. Supervisor Boone, any comments? Okay, great. Then we'll take a photo.
Take one right behind, so don't move. There you go. Okay. Ready? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Thank you.
Congratulations. Keep up the congratulations. Stay focused. Congratulations.
Will Leah Northrup and public health staff please join the board to receive a proclamation recognizing October 19th through the 25th, 2025 as Lead Poisoning Prevention Week.
Good job. Okay, tough act to follow, guys. Okay. They were pretty cute there. Okay, Lead Poisoning Prevention Week, October 19th through the 25th, 2025. The week of October 19th through the 25th, 2025 is Lead Poisoning Prevention Week, when individuals, organizations, and communities around the country join together to amplify the message that lead poisoning can be prevented and to ensure we have a safe environment in Sutter County. Lead exposure is particularly harmful to children under the age of 6, and protecting children from lead exposure is critical to lifelong health. Although lead can be found in many products and locations, lead exposure is preventable. October 19th through the 25th is recognized across the state as Lead Poisoning Prevention Week, providing the opportunity to educate and engage everyone in our community to help prevent lead poisoning. The Sutter County Board of Supervisors do hereby proclaim the week of October 19th to the 25th, 2025 as Lead Poisoning Prevention Week in Sutter County and call upon its residents to observe this week by helping families, friends, neighbors, coworkers, and leaders to better understand the value of lead poisoning prevention. So with that, I'm going to hand over the microphone and tell us a little bit more about your efforts with lead poisoning.
Thank you so much for recognizing Lead Poisoning Prevention Week, and just really want to thank our public health nurses and our other public health staff, along with our environmental health colleagues that really work to educate the community on the dangers of lead poisoning and also provide case management, education, and when needed, home visits to help mitigate lead poisoning. So really want to thank all the public health and environmental staff that work on this.
All right. Thank you, guys. Good job. Good to see you. Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you. Good to see you. I'm glad you came. Come back and see us again. All right.
Will Kelsey Peters please join the board to receive a proclamation recognizing October 2025 as National Bullying Prevention Month?
Okay, well, welcome. This is about National Bullying Prevention Month, October 2025. Bullying is physical, verbal, sexual, or emotional harm or intimidation intentionally directed at a person or a group of people. Bullying occurs in neighborhoods, playgrounds, schools, and through technology such as the internet and cell phones. Various researchers have concluded that bullying is the most common form of violence, affecting millions of children and adolescents annually. Targets of bullying are more likely to acquire physical, emotional, and learning problems than those who are not bullied. And students who are repeatedly bullied often fear such activities as riding the bus, going to school, and attending community activities. Children who bully are at a greater risk of engaging in more serious violent behaviors. Children who witness bullying often feel less secure, more fearful, and intimidated. The Sutter County Board of Supervisors do hereby proclaim the month of October as National Bullying Prevention Month. We encourage everyone to participate in bullying prevention education activities, not only this month, but all year long, making a visible statement that we are strongly committed to bullying prevention in Sutter County. So I'm going to hand the mic over to you. Tell us a little bit more about your bullying prevention efforts. I love it.
Thank you. Well, us at Sutter County Superintendent Schools, like you said, it's an ongoing effort. It's more than just the month of October, but it's an ongoing thing that we are striving to prevent. And it's a collective effort, so it's not just us and our schools, but it's our entire county's responsibility. So thank you very much on behalf of Sutter County Superintendent of Schools.
Thank you. Let's give her a round of applause.
Will Jennifer Hillary and Adventist Health and Rideout Cancer Center staff please join the board to receive a proclamation recognizing October 2025 as Breast Cancer Awareness Month?
Jennifer isn't here today. She's in a meeting. So you're the fill-in?
Okay, well, thanks for coming up. This is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. October is National Breast Cancer Awareness Month, an annual campaign to raise awareness of the disease that affects both women and men to support research for a cure. National Breast Cancer Awareness Month is dedicated to increasing public knowledge about the importance of early detection of breast cancer and prompt treatment. According to the American Cancer Society, when breast cancer is detected early and it is localized in a localized stage, the 5-year relative survival rate is 99%. Key messages for early detection include performing monthly breast self-exams and scheduling regular clinical breast exams and mammograms with the American Cancer Society, recommending an annual mammogram for women once they reach age 40. Other than skin cancer, breast cancer is the most common cancer in American women, with the American Cancer Society estimating that 353,510 people or women will be diagnosed with breast cancer, and about 43,700 women will die from breast cancer this year alone. The Sutter County Board of Supervisors do hereby proclaim October 25th as Breast Cancer Awareness Month in the County of Sutter in recognition of the illness and its effects, and encourages women especially to be conscious of the benefits of early detection, diagnosis, and treatment of breast cancer. So I'm going to hand over the mic, maybe you talk to us a little bit about breast cancer awareness.
It's really important, and we're seeing more and more young women with breast cancer. And the statistics that he quoted are only the state of California. Those were from 2023. So anytime, if you have a family history, encourage everyone to get genetic testing. And if you have a family history, you start before the age of that person who had the cancer.
All right, thank you for those words. Yeah, I appreciate you. So we're going to take a photo next. Did you want to say anything? Or, okay, all right.
Will Michelle Downing please join the board to receive a proclamation recognizing October 2025 as Domestic Violence Awareness Month?
Okay, Michelle is up here regarding Domestic Violence Awareness Month, the recognition we have today. So the crime of domestic violence violates an individual's privacy, dignity, security, and humanity due to the systematic use of physical, emotional, sexual, psychological, and economic control and/or abuse. The problems of domestic violence are not confined to any group or groups of people, but cross all economic, racial, affectional preference, and social barriers, thereby affecting society as a whole. Research shows that by creating communities where people are connected, supported, and cared for one another, or care for one another, can reduce incidents of domestic violence. Sutter County is committed to restoring the right to freedom from fear in our own homes and our communities. In our quest to impose sanctions on those who break the law by perpetrating violence, we must also meet the needs of victims of domestic violence and their children who often suffer grave financial, physical, and psychological losses. That, in recognition of the important work done by Casa de Esperanza and cooperating agencies in the County of Sutter, on behalf of the entire Sutter County Board of Supervisors, does hereby proclaim the month of October 2025 as Domestic Violence Awareness Month. We urge all citizens, agencies, and businesses to work together as a team in our community through prevention, intervention, and education programs to take a stand until society has zero tolerance for domestic violence. I love the capital letters on that stress, right? So that's great. Okay, well, I'm gonna hand the mic over to you, Michelle, and say a few words.
All right, well, thank you. Thank you, supervisors, for recognizing Domestic Violence Awareness Month and the work that's being done in our community. Countless, every day, my therapist, my advocates, and partnered agencies are standing behind and with and beside our survivors and helping them rebuild stability, safety, and hope. And so, just a little statistics that at the last 3 years, Sutter County, the domestic violence calls for service has been increasing. So it's not, CASA recognizes that it's not a private issue, it's a community issue. And we just want to thank the community as well as the Board of Supervisors for recognizing this important day.
Okay, thank you so much. Give them a round of applause.
Will Undersheriff Smallwood please join the board to receive a proclamation recognizing October 2025 as Crime Prevention Month?
This is a busy month. Come on up. Come on, crew. Come on up.
Next to you, it'll make me look tall.
There you go. Okay, Crime Prevention Month, October 20. Man, October's a busy month, isn't it? Okay. The vitality of our county depends on how safe we keep our homes, neighborhoods, schools, workplaces, and communities. Crime and fear of crime destroy our trust in others and in civic institutions, threatening the community's health, prosperity, and quality of life. People of all ages must be made aware of what they can do to prevent themselves and their families, neighbors, and coworkers from being harmed by crime and how they can protect themselves from becoming victims. Adults must invest time, resources, and policy support in effective prevention and intervention strategies for youth, and adults must make sure to engage teens in programs to drive crime from their communities. Effective crime prevention programs succeed because of partnerships with law enforcement, other government agencies, civic groups, schools, faith, communal responsibility, and instill pride. The Sutter County Board of Supervisors does hereby proclaim October 2025 as Crime Prevention Month in Sutter County, and we urge all residents, government agencies, public and private institutions, and businesses to invest in the power of prevention and work together to make Sutter County a safer, stronger, and more caring community. So I'm going to hand you the microphone and tell us more about Crime Prevention Month.
All right. Oh, I'm kidding with you. I wouldn't do that to you. So first of all, to the board, thank you for recognizing crime prevention and appreciate recognizing our staff. Crime prevention truly is a collaboration, and it starts with the community. As you read, Dan, it talks about, calling, being the eyes and ears out there. I mean, even with staffing levels as good as they are, we still don't have as many cops as we'd love to have out there, so we need our community to be the eyes and ears. And then you turn it over to these amazing men and women that handle those crime preventions, whether it's being proactive on patrol or in doing good initial cases, and then hand it over to our detectives who have done a phenomenal job. I don't know if you guys have saw, our PIO has posted, even the walnut thefts we recently have. And then it talks about just hitting in the schools. Andre is our superpower in that, whether it's the homeless or hitting the schools and making sure we're doing what we can with the youth to make sure they're involved. And so we appreciate you for recognizing us. We appreciate the community for supporting us. And it really comes down to these folks right here and what they do. So thank you.
Thank you. And let's have your folks introduce themselves real quick. We can. Let's go down the line.
My name is Detective Hungridge. I'm a detective.
Deputy Andre Lacan.
Taylor Evans with the Investigations Unit.
It's Detective Hungridge, not the dad, that's the son.
Detective Work with the Investigations Unit.
Wade Wilmore, Sutter County Detective.
Thank you for all you guys do. Let's give them a huge round of applause. Keeping us safe. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Congrats. Appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you. Nice to meet you. Thank you. Appreciate you. Good seeing you. Thank you. Appreciate you. All right.
Will Ayla Elkins please join the board to receive a proclamation recognizing October 2025 as National Book Month?
Okay, so since you're an expert, how am I doing on my reading so far? Okay, just checking. There's a lot of reading today. Okay. No, not too bad. So, all right, National Book Month, October 2025. Books have the extraordinary power to transport us to new worlds, broaden our perspectives, and enrich our lives by exposing us to diverse cultures and ideas. Reading provides profound cognitive benefits, including enhancing our vocabulary, improving memory, stimulating imagination, and fostering critical thinking skills. Reading has been shown to reduce stress and promote positive mental health, offering a comforting and engaging escape from the demands of daily life. Boy, after all the reading today, I'm gonna have all these great things. This is wonderful. National Book Month, created by the National Book Foundation, is a time to celebrate the joy of reading and encourage people of all ages to pick up a book and explore the boundless possibilities within its pages. This celebration honors not only the books themselves, but also the dedicated authors, the publishers, booksellers, librarians, and educators who make these literary journeys possible. Libraries, schools, bookstores, and other literary organizations in Sutter County provide invaluable resources and programs that promote literacy and making reading accessible to all residents. the Sutter County Board of Supervisors do hereby proclaim October 2025 as National Book Month and encourages all residents to participate in this month-long celebration by visiting the Sutter County Library, supporting local bookstores, reading aloud with children, reading aloud as a chairman of the Board of Supervisors, or joining a book club. So with that, I'm going to hand over the microphone to you. Tell us a little bit more about National Book Month.
Thank you. Thank you so much for celebrating National Book Month with us. And Sutter County Library has all kinds of books for you, whatever way you like to consume them, whether they're physical books, ebooks, or audiobooks. And why would you pay for something that you can get for free? So come on to the library and find a new adventure to dive into this month and then all the months after that. Check out our Facebook page for all the fun events coming up. We have a lot going on for the fall and then coming into the holidays. So thanks so much.
Thank you. Give a round of applause. All right, thank you.
Thank you so much. Great job reading.
I felt like she was analyzing my reading. I'm not sure. Okay. Get my voice back, gentlemen. Here we go. Okay, back to the agenda, and we are at public comment, where members of the public will be allowed to address the board on items of interest to the public that are within the subject matter jurisdiction of the Board of Supervisors. State law provides no discussion or action may be taken on any item not appearing on the posted agenda. Madam Clerk, do we have any public speakers?
We have two, one received by email.
Okay, yeah, go ahead and read the one by email, and then we'll just have the person who's here first come up and then do the email, okay?
The first comment is from Tony Farley.
Tony Farley, Northview City, Wilkie Drive. Thank you, Jeff Stevens, for his service. The Say Love and the Pumpkin Place, Jeff Stevens Farmhouse. Pumpkin Pie for birthday, man. Turned 31 in March. And Dan Flores, the Star Wars, Darth Vader versus Wonder Woman. And Jeff Boone, the Boone, yeah, Jeff Boone. Don't forget Carmaines. Don't forget Professor Steve Smith from Harvard King's School, Harvard Law School, and Harvard King's School, McGeorge. William, the president of lawyers over there, and Colonel Scott Hansen, the colonel, the full-bird colonel, and two stars, Under Sheriff Scott Smart from Greeley, California. The media, don't forget the media lady. Don't forget the young deputy there, and don't forget the dispatchers, Captain Tava, and don't forget the nerd dispatcher lady, the rookie one right there, and also the librarian nerd right there. I like that. And don't forget Veronica. You can't spell hero. Bar HR. And also Zachary Hamble. If we got backpacks. Backpacks over there. And the fire paramedic mustache guy there. Fire paramedic. Don't forget the nerve paramedic. Don't forget the right there. And the 4-H club. Don't forget 4-H club cadets. And also Drake and Josh were here, dude. Drake and Josh. And Neil. Don't forget Neil. Don't forget Bear Help Dancing guy over there. And don't forget Dr. Lou. Don't forget the superintendent of schools of Sutter County. And don't forget Jamie, Gina, and Stephanie. And don't forget Sarah Rios. And don't forget last one, Sierra Sacramento Valley Chief of Paramedics over there. At the Sacramento Chief over there. And thank you everybody for your service.
Okay, thank you, Tony. And you said you had one by email, Madam Clerk?
Yes. First, I'd like to thank the Sutter County Board members for the hard work they do. Many of us appreciate your time and commitment. Next, I'd like to thank county staff for their tireless efforts to keep things running with continued financial challenges. In regards to the current Citizens Initiative for CSAF, I don't recall any town hall meetings to present this initiative to voters for outside input. The fire tax currently in place was a methodical process with citizen advisory committees in each of the 3 fire areas. There were no surprises. The first I heard of this initiative were just numbers that impact citizens without explanation or methodology. I have no idea how these potential charges were even decided on. This can greatly affect fixed income folks. My healthcare costs will increase to $2,700 a month starting in January. How many more permanent financial hits can citizens take? Is the projected first-year revenues of $2.5 million accurate? From experience, I know that projected numbers often change downward. If these numbers are actually less, and with the potential discarding of the current fire tax, would the revenues be enough to solve the CSAF financial issues? I wish the SCFD had put this much energy into supporting the sales tax Measure A. A sales tax would also benefit the city of Live Oak and the city of Yuba City with their continued financial challenges. Most people don't even consider it a sales tax when shopping in other jurisdictions, and a sales tax would impact our citizens less than the current initiative. Sales tax impact fluctuates every year according to your spending. This initiative is a permanent burden that will most likely increase every year. While I support and believe in our firefighters, I also believe that this initiative would have been handled better, could have been handled better, with transparency and no surprises. You might wonder why I don't simply ask the SCFD these questions. I'm one person, and all of the voters should be given this information as well, so as to make informed voting decisions. Thank you for your time. Dan Yeager.
Okay, great, thank you. Any further public comment this time? Okay, thank you, Madam Clerk. We'll move on to the consent calendar. Consent calendar groups together those items which are considered non-controversial, for which prior policy direction has been given to staff, and that require only routine action by the board. The chair will advise the audience that the matters may be adopted in total by one motion. However, the board may, at its option or upon request of the member of the public, consider any matter separately. Consent calendar consists of items 1 through 13. I would entertain a motion for consent.
So move.
I have a motion from Supervisor Stevens, second from, oh, there's only 2 of you up here, so that's not that. So we have a first and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, any opposition? Okay, there being none, the motion carries. And then we'll move on to appearance items, to item 14.
Receive a report from the Sierra Sacramento Valley EMS on the current Bi-County Ambulance Emergency Ground Ambulance Exclusive Operating Area Agreement for Sutter County, and approval to support SSV EMS to begin negotiation to renew the current EOA agreement with Bi-County Ambulance to provide emergency medical services to Sutter County for a maximum of 5 years beginning January 1, 2027 through December 31st, 2032.
Welcome, Dr. Liu.
Thank you, Chair and members of the board. I'm here to have the pleasure of introducing Mr. John Poland, the Executive Director of the Sierra Sacramento Valley EMS. It's our local EMS authority to provide a report on the current status of the EOA with Bi-County Ambulance and some recommendation from SSV EMS.
Good afternoon, Board of Supervisors. My name, as Dr. Liu said, my name is John Poland. I'm the Executive Director of the Sierra Sacramento Valley EMS Agency, and as equally important, I'm actually a citizen of Sutter County and Yuba City. I live here locally. So I'm going to give you a little bit of update on what's going on with the ambulance contract here for Sutter County and a little bit about our agency as well. So first and foremost, why am I here standing in front of you talking about ambulance services for Sutter County? Current health and safety code statutes require every county in the state of California to have a designated local EMS agency. As you're fully aware, there's 58 counties in the state of California. There's only 34 local EMS agencies. 27 of those are single county, and the remaining are multi-county EMS agencies such as ourselves. We're a 10-county regional EMS agency in Northern California. Butte, Colusa, Glenn, Nevada, Placer, Shasta, Siskiyou, obviously Sutter here, Tehama and Yuba counties are the counties that we're responsible for. We provide regulatory oversight of all aspects of EMS within the 10-county region that we serve. Within our region, we have about 100 first responder agencies, fire departments, and those type of entities, and then we have a little over 30 ground ambulance providers. We also have 6 EMS aircraft providers, and when I put this together, 17 acute care hospitals. As of a couple weeks ago with Glenn Medical Center closure, we have 16 acute care hospitals within our EMS region at this point. So again, the reason why I'm here, the local EMS agency is legally responsible for contracting for emergency ambulance services. I put a couple references here on the slide. There was a court case in Butte County about 15 years ago where it pretty much got settled that the local EMS agency is the entity that is required, responsible for these services, and obviously your own Sutter County ordinance designates our agency to address and handle these EMS contracting matters. Just real quick, I'm going to go over a few of the relevant statutes. California Health and Safety Code 1798.85 states, quote, an exclusive operating area means an EMS area or sub-area defined by the Emergency Medical Services Plan for which a local EMS agency, upon the recommendation of the county, restricts operations to one or more emergency ambulance service providers, services or providers of limited advanced life support or advanced life support. A couple other relevant statutory references, California Health and Safety Code 1798.224. Local EMS agency may create one or more exclusive operating areas in the development of a local plan if a competitive process is utilized to select the provider or providers of services pursuant to this plan. It goes on to further state, no competitive process is required if the local EMS agencies develops or implements a local plan that continues the use of existing providers operating within the local EMS area in a manner and scope in which the services have been provided without interruption since January 1st of 1981. So moving on to the timeline specific to emergency ambulance service contracting here in Sutter County. Our agency is a JPA. We were formed in 1975. Sutter County was one of the founding member counties of our local EMS agency. In 1976, Bi-County Ambulance, your current emergency ground ambulance provider, began providing services in both Sutter and Yuba counties. In 2003, the Sutter County Board of Supervisors at that time recommended our agency to establish and develop exclusive operating area agreements with Bi-County Ambulance to service Sutter County. That agreement was ultimately promulgated and put in place initially in 2005. It's been obviously renewed several times since then. In 2018, we executed a revised EOA agreement with Bi-County Ambulance, and then most recently in 2024, we executed an additional 3-year exclusive operating agreement with Bi-County Ambulance. That current exclusive operating area agreement expires on December 31st, 2026. So obviously, we're preparing to figure out the next steps regarding that particular contracting process. So normally when you look at emergency ground ambulance exclusive operating area agreements, the term of these agreements is usually for 5 years or more. There's a lot of cost that goes into providing ground ambulance services, and so obviously a provider needs to be able to recuperate their costs for doing the services. So routinely they're 5 years and usually have an extension. The last EOA agreement that we negotiated with Bi-County Ambulance at the direction of the county back in 2014 was actually a truncated 3-year agreement. And the reason for that is, as this board is fully aware, Bi-County was not immune to some of the issues that it developed during the COVID pandemic. At that time, they actually got down to a minimum of about 12 to 13 paramedics for both their Sutter and Yuba County operations. Obviously, they have subsequently recovered from that, and currently, as of the report that they provided to us last week for the month of September, they have 25 full-time paramedics and 15 part-time part-time paramedic staff to support their operation. So the reason why we did a limited 3-year agreement is not only we wanted to continue to give them the opportunity to recover from the pandemic, but also make sure that that recovery was going to be sustainable as we look at a more long-term contracting process. I do want to point out, as a second bullet point on the slide states, Bi-County Ambulance has been completely compliant with all current EOA agreement terms for the entire term of this current agreement, and I'll go into it a little bit further here on the next slide. So some of the system improvements and sustainability that that Bi-County Ambulance has implemented with this current 2-year agreement, 3-year agreement that they're 2 years into at this point. Their EMS personnel wages and benefits are at or above industry standards, including the implementation of sign-on and retention bonuses to obviously not only attract high quality paramedics and EMTs, but obviously to retain them in the local area as well. Bi-County Ambulance has also sponsored multiple EMTs to continue their training and actually become licensed as paramedics. We've kind of learned this in a lot of our different areas. Our 10-county region is really at this point. We want to try to grow those people locally, people that are working as an EMT, send them back to school, have them get their updated advanced life support training to become licensed paramedics. As I mentioned, Bi-County Ambulance is compliant with all of their contractual requirements, including they're compliant with the minimum ALS ambulance deployment requirements that we added into their contract with the last renegotiation. Specifically, 2025 year to date, they've had 45% monthly average exceedance of the minimum ALS unit hours. And as I mentioned, they have 25 full-time paramedics and 15 part-time paramedics that obviously assist them in meeting those requirements. They've also implemented additional clinical quality improvement processes and tools to ensure that patients within the Sutter County region receive the best possible pre-hospital EMS care, and to identify and intervene when those expectations are not met, and we need to improve and make sure that issues don't happen in the future. Equally important, with all of the processes that they've implemented, they've been able to maintain ambulance rates consistent with or less than other similar EMS systems throughout the state of California. As you're probably aware, Bi-County Ambulance is a private organization. They're a fee-for-service organization. They receive no tax subsidy or other support other than the patients that actually utilize their service. They're billed just like a hospital or any other medical organization for actually receiving those services. Their current ALS base rate is $3,296. As I mentioned just a minute ago, that's equivalent or actually even less than a lot of similar areas throughout California. More importantly is the bullet point right underneath that. Even though the billed rates are $3,200 and $3,296 for the base rate, they're only collecting about 16% on the dollar. That's because obviously a large payer mix is Medi-Cal and Medicare. They don't pay anything extra other than what they pay, regardless of how much you bill them. So obviously a lot of the commercial insurance picks up that balance, but what that means when you combine everything together is they only collect about 16 cents on the dollar. And so what that leads into is last year for Yuba and Sutter counties combined, which is kind of what they report their financials to us, because they both have separate EOA agreements. They had a net income of about $300,000. Obviously, as you're aware, especially with how expensive it is to provide emergency ambulance services, that's not a huge profit margin. That's less than a lot of our other areas within our 10-county region. Just a couple notes on the bottom of the slide. Obviously, it's expensive to provide emergency ambulance services. There's increased personnel wage and benefits costs, just like any other industry over the last couple of years. Obviously, increased vehicle, fuel, and maintenance costs. Just kind of for perspective, a new ambulance costs anywhere between $250,000 and $300,000 and lasts 3 to 5 years maybe as a primary unit, has to be replaced. And a new cardiac monitor is around $50,000 to $60,000. So again, there's a huge investment that goes into providing a quality level of service for the citizens and visitors of Sutter County. And just to kind of wrap up, just to kind of show you kind of our area versus a statewide perspective, the chart on the left, on your left up there shows the California statewide, there's 308 total ambulance zones. About half of those are non-exclusive, which basically means any provider that meets the minimum requirements could provide ambulance service in those areas. Even so, most of those non-exclusive areas have a single provider just because, again, the economics of providing ambulance service doesn't make sense for a lot of providers to service a similar area. 40% statewide are non-competitive EOAs, which is similar to what Bi-County has currently. And then from a statewide perspective, 12% of those 308 emergency zones are competitive bid exclusive operating area agreements. As you can see on the right, it's pretty similar to our 10-county EMS region where we have 52% non-exclusive, 40% non-competitive, and 8% competitive EOA areas. So again, my final slide here, basically what our recommendations are to the board is we're recommending the board provide direction and approval for us to negotiate a renewal EOA agreement with Bi-County Ambulance to continue providing EMS services to Sutter County residents and visitors for a maximum of 5 years. And we're going to use this contracting process to implement some additional metrics and appropriate enhancements to ensure performance quality. In doing that, we'll obviously meet with all the system stakeholders, fire departments, hospitals, law enforcement, to make sure we gather their feedback on kind of what they would like to see in these agreements and make sure that we're meeting the needs of the local area, the citizens, the allied agencies, and those type of things. So with that, I'll yield and I'll open it up to any questions that the board may have of me.
Okay, thank you for your presentation. First, I'll ask if there are any comments from the public. No comments. Okay, we'll bring it back to the board for any questions or discussion or comments.
No, I just want to thank Scott. I sit on the board with him, and he's always the most thorough guy that I've ever known in emergency services. 100% the best man for the job, and I hope that we can maintain his employment in that group for years to come, because I mean, it's just incredible all the information this guy's got stored in his head. He doesn't need a piece of paper to look at. He's really sharp on the game. So I appreciate you. I applaud you for coming here today and filling us in on this important gesture. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Supervisor Moon. Any comments, Supervisor Stevens? Yep, we'll need a motion.
I'll make a motion to move forward with Bi-County Ambulance as a contract.
Okay, we have a motion.
Yes, and I second that.
Second by Supervisor Boone. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, okay. And no opposition, so the ayes have it, and the motion passes. Thank you for the presentation.
Thank you.
And we look forward to seeing the negotiated contract when you bring it back.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll move on to item 15.
Receive a presentation on the Bi-County Farm Advisor Rice Research and Extension Program in Sutter County.
Thank you. It works. Okay. Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you so much for having us.
Welcome.
So I'm going to speak a little bit about University of California Cooperative Extension. Some people know it as Ag Extension, also Farm and 4-H Advisors. So first of all, what is cooperative extension? It's a big word. Most people aren't that familiar with it. I like to kind of think of ourselves as our friendly neighborhood scientists. So in California, UCANR, the Division of Ag and Natural Resources, delivers the land grant mission for California. So land grant universities were established in 1862 by Congress, and then the University of California was created a few years later. So University of California is our land grant in California. Congress then authorized the ag experiment stations at land grants in 1887. The first one was at UC Berkeley, followed by UC Davis. And then our group, Cooperative Extension, was established in 1914. So it's kind of this cool mix of different levels of funding. So a large portion of the funding comes from the federal government through USDA NEFA. Part of it comes through the state also, through the land-grant universities. And then we have this wonderful connection at the county level as well, and we're supported at the county level here in Sutter County by our Board of Supervisors in our county. So this sort of three-pronged funding stream, which I think is very unique and one of the only ag extension like this in the world. So we serve all 58 counties in California. We deliver sustainable, safe, and nutritious food production. We support economic success, a sustainable, healthy, and productive environment, as well as science literacy and youth development. So this is a little bit of a busy slide here, but you can see we've got county offices throughout the state of California. So 58 county offices, including our bi-county office here in Sutter, Yuba on Garden Highway. And then we also have these 13 statewide programs and institutes, some of which you may recognize. So 4-H is actually one of our programs, the Master Gardener program as well, CalFresh, UCIPM, a lot of people know that one as well. So we've got all these different entities that are all available here locally through our local office. So we are the local connection to University of California. And here in Sutter County, we've been here for over 100 years now. Since July 1, 1918, we were actually one of the first offices in the state of California. So here locally, we have the Ag Forestry Advisors. So I'm one of the Ag Advisors. I work in rice and wild rice. We also have our youth development program, which I mentioned, so 4-H, which is all a volunteer-supported program with very few staff. Master Gardeners, which again is pretty much all volunteers. So we have about 70 or so Master Gardeners. And then our CalFresh Healthy Living program, which is sort of the same, or works with the local county offices as well, to provide evidence-based nutrition education and physical activity classes. So how are we funded, you may ask? So a big portion of our funding comes through the county. So Sutter and Yuba County both contribute to our budget. About 40% comes from Yuba County and 60% from Sutter. And that was based on population land allocations when it was started. That's only about 0.05% of the Sutter County budget in 2022-2023. So the county provides operating expenses, our office building, vehicles, and about 3.5 FTE staff. And then the university portion pays for salaries like myself, our community education specialists, and that's about 18 FTE in total. So our grants, endowments, and the funding from the state totaled about $1.4 million in 2022-2023. So I'm going to speak a little bit about our rice program, since that is my area of expertise. So I'm sure a lot of you are aware of how much or how important rice is in Sutter County. But in 2023, the most updated values that we have, the farm gate value was $272 million, and it makes it our #1 crop in Sutter County, and it's been the #1 crop for many, many years. That economic activity is about $345 million, so there's a multiplier that you can look at to see how much extra activity around rice itself. So it's quite a bit of the economy in Sutter County. So about 7% in 2023. So just rice, pretty amazing. So UCCE supports rice production. We have about 7 scientists in total spread throughout the state, so the 9 rice-producing counties and at UC Davis. So myself and all those other folks that you see up there. So we have me, who's a weed scientist, and then all the expertise of all those other folks that I'm able to draw on, and we all work on projects together here in Sutter County. We strongly collaborate with the Rice Experiment Station in Biggs. I don't know if folks have been up there, but we work directly with them on variety production and other experiments. And then we have direct support from the California Rice Commission as well as the California Rice Research Board. And here in Sutter County, we collaborate very strongly with the Ag Commissioner's Office. So some of the other things that we do, I'm just gonna touch on a couple of highlights here. So one of our big areas of research is actually new chemical products, so pesticides and fertilizers. Just for reference, it takes about $301 million in investment and about 12 years to bring a product to market. So my colleagues and I, over the past 9 or so years that I've been here, have tested more than 20 products, some of which were brought to market here. And we work with chemical companies, the EPA, so Environmental Protection Agency, and California's Department of Pesticide Registration directly to help bring these products to our growers here. We also develop new varieties. So we do statewide testing of rice varieties. We've been doing this for over 50 years now across the state. And those varieties that we use are the ones from the rice experiment station. And they are planted on about 95% of the acreage in California. So most of the varieties that are planted here, we've tested. And that's us testing in the field. That's how we do it. So as PI, or principal investigator, I've brought in about $1.2 million in my time here, about $5 million as co-PI, and most of that funding goes to pay for some of my colleagues who we'll be talking to in a minute here. So I like to fund local students, so through UC Davis, Chico State, Butte College, some of our other local colleges, to do internships and work with us so that they can get experience. I've also given more than 90 presentations to close to 9,000 stakeholders over the past 9 years and published about 90 plus extension publications. And most of that is free and open to the public for everyone to benefit from. So I'm going to highlight some of our employees today because I'm so proud of them. So over the time that I've been here, we've had more than 27 students. You can see some of the names up there. One of them went on to work as a rice breeder at the rice experiment station. We've got some rice growers here locally that have worked with us as interns and then gone on to run their own farms. We also have some folks that work for Corteva and Lundberg Family Farms. So I'm just really proud of the fact that we've been able to mentor these young folks, and then they've been able to go on and actually become our colleagues. And today, I've got a few of our current team members here to talk to you a little bit about their experiences. So I'm going to hand it off to Consuelo Baez-Vega first.
Hello, my name is Consuelo Baez-Vega, and today I will be talking a little bit about myself, as well as my experience with UC Cooperative Extension and what the future holds for me. So to start off, a bit about myself. I primarily grew up in the Coachella Valley, which is that image right there on your left. I mean, my right, sorry. And there I obtained my primary education, graduated from high school, and then went on to my community college at College of the Desert, where I got my degree in natural resources. And then in 2019, I opted to go and get a bachelor's degree, actually the first in my family to do so. And so I did that at California State University, Chico, where I graduated with a bachelor's of second honors in agriculture. And that's where I got my experience and my love for research. That poster right there was actually the first poster I made, and I was pretty proud of it. I would make it better now, but back then that was the experience I had. Now, with that being said, after graduating, I started in 2022 working with Cooperative Extension, and it's been a very rewarding experience. I hope that these images visualize and show how much fun I have every day when I go to work, all the things that I learn, and more than anything, the way that it applies to the real world, the way that basically growers take this information to use it for their fields and make them more higher producing and get rid of weeds and other pest issues. And so here's more photos showing all the fun times that we have and the information that I've acquired over time. And more than anything, what I found from all this experience with Cooperative Extension is that it's been very fulfilling. And that is what I sought for my life. And now for the future, what I imagine is going to happen is, first and foremost, I'm going to finish my master's thesis. That is on the list. And then after that, graduate in the spring of 2026. And after that, I hope to continue working in ag science. I love it. And they say that if you love what you do, you're never working, right? So that is my hope. And with that being said, I'm going to pass it off to my peers. Thank you.
Hi, good afternoon. My name is Oscar De Leon Jr., and I am also from the Coachella Valley, same as Connie. I went back to school a little bit later in life, and I discovered I actually kind of loved school. So that ended up turning into an associate's degree in plant and soil science from College of the Desert in Palm Desert. My future goals are to pursue a master's degree in some kind of ag-related field, weed research, ag genetics, breeding, and probably some interest in crop management. okay, next slide. Yeah. I really appreciate the support you guys give because it gave me, being part of this program gave me the opportunity to gain real hands-on experience, to put the theory that I'm learning in college and applying it to growers' fields. I got to work alongside the UCCE rice researchers this summer and running herbicide trials with Dr. Whitney Brim-DeForest, which I really appreciate her and Connie's leading me, showing me how to operate, how to measure out equipment, how to apply the pesticides. I really appreciated that. And also helped, that's just part of it. The other side is speaking with the growers and doing outreach. We did outreach at the Sutter Yuba County Fair in June, which was really exciting to conversate with a few people in the community about what we do. It's also helped me develop professional and technical skills so I can be able to reach my goals of pursuing a master's degree. And I am grateful for the opportunity that I was able to participate in this program. Thank you.
Good afternoon. I'm so sorry I was sick this weekend, so my voice is coming in and out. My name is Mia Esperanza Avila, and I am a student at CSU Chico. This summer, I was able to work with Dr. Whitney Brim-DeForest and UCCE through a CSC Squared program. I'm from Redding, California. I'm a fourth-year undergraduate student, and I'm studying plant and soil science at CSU Chico. My future goals are to pursue a master's degree. I'm thinking in food systems. I really want to give back to my community. Next slide. The work I've been doing with Dr. Whitney has been really helpful in narrowing down what I want to do with my future and also applying what I've learned in the classroom and also in classroom labs. The work that we're able to do in the field is very helpful in taking these concepts and applying them to the real world. Thank you. There's a couple pictures here. I tried to get some variety of the things we do. It ranges from weeds to actual insects, but I've had a lot of experience with the community, industry professionals, and growers alike. So it has been very helpful to visualize my future and give me experience to help me realize the future. Thank you.
Okay, thank you guys. Thank you very much, all three. This is our first time in front of the Board of Supervisors. And we just wanted to say thank you again for supporting us for now 107 years. So thank you.
Oh, thank you. And before you step down, I just want to tell you that's a very impressive presentation. I, for one, was super impressed and loved hearing the stories from the students who are learning so much from you and what's going on with the extension overall. I do have a question. So we have one of our strategic initiatives or goals is to set up a research and technology like ag tech center in Sutter County at one point.
Sure.
And I'd like to explore directly with you, if possible, how UC Extension can get involved with us in helping get that together. I think with your background and then what I'm hearing today, I think there's a lot of great opportunity for that. Would that be something you'd be interested in exploring
Definitely.
with us? Okay.
For sure. Thank
Not to put you on the spot or anything.
No, for sure. I would love to. Thank you very much.
That would be awesome. And I don't know, do you have any questions or comments or anything? All right, that was a terrific presentation, really. And we'll have staff reach out to you so that we can get together and talk more about setting up even more. And I'd also like to do a tour, just come and check things out.
Anytime. We'd love to have you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Staff,
Thank you
if
very
you can
much.
help set that up, that would be wonderful. Okay. All right. Thank you so much. Let's give them a round of applause. That was a good presentation. Okay, we'll move to the next item.
Receive a presentation on the 2025 County Coordinator Grant Program.
Big button. Okay. Ready to roll? Okay. Hello, my name is Scott Garda. I'm an emergency services coordinator with the Sutter County Office of Emergency Management. Thanks to the board and everyone present for your time this afternoon, which I'm going to be using to talk about the 2025 County Coordinator Grant Program. So this is a grant administered by the California Fire Safe Council with funding from CAL FIRE via the California Climate Investments Program. The broad goal of the program is to strengthen wildfire mitigation coordination at the county level. This is our second round of funding, and following the conclusion of the current 2022 grant cycle in July of 26, we'll have gotten about $300,000 to support these efforts. And just the picture down there is just a shot of some of the California Fire Safe Council staff and other county coordinators from a prior event. So the bulk of the funding goes to supporting the county coordinator's position. That's me, so that's enabled the Office of Emergency Management to support a limited term staff. So thanks to these 2 grant cycles, I've been on board for about 1.5 years, so very grateful for that. Broadly speaking, the county coordinator's role, as stated previously, is to support county wildfire mitigation largely through identifying funding projects, identifying mitigation projects, funding to implement those projects, community outreach initiatives like producing public education materials and hosting community events, things of that nature. So just a step back before I go into what we've already done and what we're going to do, just the county's wildfire landscape, not a traditionally high wildfire hazard area, largely agricultural. Prior to last year, Sutter County was not mapped on the CAL FIRE's local responsibility area. How do I go backwards? But that changed this past year, so now we are reflected on the map. The map on your right, so that's CAL FIRE's local fire hazard responsibility map, as mapped by the state fire marshal earlier this year. You can see the Sutter Buttes with the red and orange. That's deemed as high and very high severity ratings, and you can see a little bit of the river bottoms marked in yellow as moderate. And so this is actually a good change to an extent because it'll actually make us more eligible for certain funding opportunities which require proof of need, like proof of risk for funding and things of that nature. And just the other shot, that's Peace Valley. We arranged a tour with California State Parks and some local fire agencies just to get eyes on an area that typically isn't publicly accessible and one of our more wildfire prone areas in the county. So what did we do last year? The biggest thing was establishing the Sutter County Fire Safe Council. So Fire Safe Councils are a collaborative of public and private organizations with an interest in wildfire mitigation and loss prevention. We have representation from the Yuba City Fire Department, Sutter County Fire, Reclamation Districts, Resource Conservation Districts, Say Love, American Red Cross, UC Cooperative Extension, forestry programs. We've gotten some pretty good coverage from the county. We've also done other things like creating an informational web page with resources like home hardening, defensible space, things of that nature. And while I did say most of the funding goes towards supporting a staff member, we are also able to use some excess funding to purchase emergency kits and reflective address signs. We got about 800 emergency kits with the conclusion of the 2022 grant cycle funding. And we were able to distribute roughly 300 of those kits at our Go Bag Party, which we had in March of this year, where we had about 530 guests cycle through and pick up their kits and other informational resources by various organizations who helped facilitate that event. And we were also able to purchase about 1,400 reflective address signs for unincorporated county residents, the aim being to aid first responders better identify properties in an emergency. So we've distributed about 350 of those. So we still got quite a bit to do. And so what are we doing now? So there's about 11 tasks for the 2025 work plan. Most of them revolve around supporting Sutter County Fire Safe Council initiatives and just other broad public education efforts. And to highlight that, we're having our second preparedness fair. It is scheduled for January 28th, 2026. It's a Wednesday night, and that's just going to be across the road at the Veterans Hall. So just an opportunity for people to visit booths staffed by various preparedness organizations, pick up informational materials, swag. There'll be some emergency vehicles on a showcase, and there'll be a couple of food trucks. So please come down and spread the word if you can. And likewise, we're also going to be having our second Go Bag party, still in the works, but also shooting for an early 2026 date. And other things we're looking to do is to wrap up the development of a pre-fire attack plan for the Sutter Buttes, which is a tool for responding fire agencies from out of county if they ever had to provide mutual aid for a wildfire in the Sutter Buttes. And then just maintaining our information hub, and what else? I think that's about it. And then a couple more small things. Another aspect of the grant is just promoting some CAL FIRE initiatives. They developed a community wildfire protection plan toolkit designed to help communities either build or revamp their CWPP. So I'll be hosting a workshop on that next month. And then just, I also was able to attend a defensible space inspection and home hardening assessment course just last week. And then supervisors, I provided you with a go bag just to show you what the go bag looks like. It's got a whole range of goodies. It's not a be-all, end-all. It doesn't have everything you're gonna need, but it's a great starting kit. And then in the manila envelopes are just some of the informational materials we've developed so far. And thank you for your time.
Great, thank you for your presentation. Quick question. What's this?
It's a 4-in-1 tool. 4-in-1 being it's a gas shutoff tool, water shutoff, a prying tool, and a striking tool. So that's the main purpose of it. And that little slip of paper should give more detailed, thorough instructions.
Great. Oh, is that what she's wondering?
Yeah.
Just wondering. All right, well, thanks for the presentation and the go bag. Appreciate that.
Yeah.
A lot. There's a lot going on. You've got a great deal. Very impressive. Any questions or comments from the other board members? Okay, well, this was for presentation only, but we appreciate your sharing all that you do. Hopefully we can pick up that speech contest again too sometime, huh? To bring the high school kids back to talk about this very topic, right? I think would be great. But thank you so much for sharing.
Thank you very much.
All right, thank you. Before we move on to the next item, I'm going to note that we're pulling item 18 from the agenda today. So we're going to go to now item 17.
Receive a presentation regarding the opening of the Sutter County Law Library.
Good afternoon, Chair Flores and board members. I'm here this afternoon along with the Sutter County Librarian, Ayla Elkins, and we're here to share good news from the Law Library Board of Trustees. After a lot of collaboration and planning, the Sutter County Law Library will soon have a new physical location in the California room at the main branch of the Sutter County Library. As you may remember, the Law Library Board of Trustees was reestablished in 2022, and one of our main goals from the start was to open a dedicated space where people could access legal information and resources in person. Thanks to your approval of the California room for this purpose, we're proud to say this goal has been achieved. To celebrate, we'll be hosting a grand opening on Monday, November 3rd at noon at the main branch of the Sutter County Library. Everyone is welcome to join us to see what the Law Library will offer the community. On behalf of the Board of Trustees, I want to thank you for all your support and partnership in making this happen. It's exciting to see this new resource come to life, and we look forward to celebrating with you on November 3rd. Thank you, and Ayla and I are here if you have any questions.
Okay, thank you, and it's great news to hear because I know it's been quite a while in the works. So it's great. And is it all complete already? All done? Or?
It is up and running. We're seeking some art, perhaps from local attorneys, legal related, justice related, or community related. So if anybody here wants to donate some art, we have 2 computer terminals that will have Westlaw access for online research, and we'll start to build up books for physical books that can be checked out through the library. And we've been in collaboration with the library to provide staffing for the law library, and an MOU will be presented to your board. It's been approved by the Board of Trustees. It'll be presented to your board to effectuate that.
That's great. be an excellent resource for our community, and congratulate you on getting it done. Did Judge Santana actually have to roll up his sleeves and paint? Because he had volunteered to paint, you know.
He sure did. He wanted to make sure it happened, and if we weren't going to get it happen, you know, if we weren't going to make it happen, he was going to be in there and paint. But luckily, our general services department pulled it off, and
Okay.
came in a quick amount of time. They were incredible to work with. Thank you.
That's great. Our general services department always comes through when you need them. So awesome, guys. So thank you very much for the presentation, and we look forward to being there. Any comments from the board? All right. Thank you very much, Deborah. Appreciate it. All right. No, this is our first law library. Deborah, did we have one way in the past, a law library? Oh, I forgot to ask that question. Supervisor Stevens was asking me. I know we don't have one now, but did we?
I don't see that we had a physical location. We had a law library board of trustees. It disbanded somehow about 2012, and so it took us some time to kind of realize that happened. And it was actually Tony Farley who walked into the county counsel's office and asked where our law library was located in Sutter County, and that's what got everything moving as to making sure that
Wow.
we had a space available.
Excellent.
Thank you,
That's
Tony.
good. Thank you, Tony. Yeah. It only took 14 years. Not bad. Thank you, Deborah. Okay, next presentation.
Approval of an amendment to the California Public Employees Retirement System contract for county peace officers and approval of a certificate of final action.
Good afternoon, Chairman and members of the board, Veronica Baumgardner, HR. I'm here before you again. You've already heard us here a few times for this, so I'm sorry we were remiss in one of our documents that need to be approved here today. So just as a brief, quick reminder, in December of 2024, the board had approved an MOU with the Peace Officers Association, which is our deputy sheriffs, for 2 years. And one of the provisions in there was to add that military service credit as a provision in their CalPERS contract. There is no cost to the county. This is something that employees can actually buy back, essentially their military service credit time to add to their CalPERS. This is a provision that we have in other contracts with other divisions in the county, but for some reason it was not provided in our law enforcement, which is probably the most likely that a lot of them, have that military service credit. So as an addition to us coming here in May and having the adopted resolution and the amendment, and then subsequently the final reading, which came in June. The ordinance actually became in effect as of July 24th, 2025, but the final step is just executing the official amendment to the CalPERS contract, which is a certification of final action of the governing body. So that will be presented later to you for final signature, but we have to present here at a public hearing. So that is what I'm coming here is for, essentially a final signature, which the board clerks will get from you later. So any questions, I'm happy to answer.
Okay, thank you very much, Veronica. And I'll ask if there are any public comments. No public comments, then I'll call for a motion.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Motion and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. No opposition, so the motion carries. All right, thank you. We'll move on to item 20.
Approval to apply for and accept the County Medical Services Program Healthcare Infrastructure Development Matching Grant Program funding. A letter of commitment supporting the submission of the application to request matching funds for the Behavioral Health Continuum Infrastructure Program in the amount of $500,000, and authorization for the Health and Human Services Director or their designee to approve and sign all related documents.
Thank you, Chairman, members of the board. Sarah Eberhardt-Rios, your Health and Human Services Director. This item, of course, seeks your approval for the submission of a grant to the County Medical Services Program, otherwise known as CMSP, Healthcare Infrastructure Funds, and of course that letter of commitment for Sutter County up to $500,000 in local CMSP matching funds. The county seeks this grant application from CMSP to use as a match in a second round of grants available under the Behavioral Health Continuum Infrastructure Bond Act, which was established about a year and a half ago under Proposition 1. And the Bond Act makes healthcare infrastructure financing available for behavioral health services across the state of California. Both grants, which are aimed at building treatment facilities, will be utilized, if awarded, to construct a 16-bed, long-term adult residential treatment facility in Yuba County proper, so geographical area of Yuba County. The facility will serve both Sutter and Yuba County residents via Sutter Yuba Behavioral Health's longstanding JPA serving both counties. Specifically, if awarded, these funds will enable SYBH to better serve Lanterman Petrus Short Act conservatees, otherwise known as LPS conservatees, and others living with long-term behavioral health needs. As you may know, in 2018 and 2021, 2 local behavioral health board and care facilities closed, resulting in a loss of about 60 local beds supporting those living with chronic behavioral health conditions. And as a result, SYBH has been required to contract with facilities outside of Sutter and Yuba counties to serve these local community members. The proposed facility, if built, would expand our local capacity to serve not only folks who are placed under LPS conservatorship by the courts, but also those folks that are enrolled in care court, suffering from homelessness or housing instability as a result of chronic behavioral health conditions, and in need of long-term residential treatment. Currently, Sutter Yuba Behavioral Health supports 94 LPS conservatees, and that's 50 in Sutter and 44 in Yuba, and those numbers can fluctuate, with a high percentage of those clients in placements across the state of California due to a lack of long-term care beds here locally. Costs per client for these placements can range from $17,000 to $60,000 per client per year, depending upon the level of care needs that each individual has. Placements can be as far away as Riverside County in Southern California, which of course is a hardship for family members, for staff that are supporting those clients, and the clients themselves due to that distance issue. Expanding the local treatment infrastructure keeps clients here in our community where their support systems are, improves the quality and experience of treatment, and reduces the overall costs for the county for these services. This item has no impact on county general fund and will be utilized as a portion of a 10% match for the Behavioral Health Crisis Infrastructure Program grant, which is due on October 28th. And with that, I am happy to answer any questions you may have.
Okay, Supervisor Stevens has a question.
Hi, Sarah. Yeah, about a month or so ago, I went up to a groundbreaking up in Gridley. Is this the same type of facility that would just add additional beds to that hospital also?
So was that the Orchard Hospital facility? So it's the same type of funding, but not an expansion of that facility, essentially building of a residential treatment facility in Yuba County, but similar funding.
But we'd still be we were going to be sharing beds with that hospital also. We would continue to utilize them also.
We would, and that facility, as I understand it, is a psychiatric health facility, which is 2 facilities up in levels of care than this residential treatment facility. So it would help us to continue to access services along that continuum.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
Any further questions? Okay, then I would enter any comments from the public. All right, thank you for the presentation, Sarah. And then entertain a motion.
So move, I'll make that motion.
Second.
Okay, first and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, no opposition. There being none, the motion carries, and we'll move on to the next item. Steve Smith, follow-up reports and announcements.
Thank you, Honorable Chair and Supervisors. A couple things. One, on October 24th, there will be the Bounty of Sutter County Business Recognition Luncheon. There are tickets available for the public. They're $100 per person, which covers lunch and participation or viewing of the award ceremony. So we've had 4 different awards that will be going to Sutter County-based businesses. They can be in the city or county, and there was a nomination, or folks from the public can nominate, and there was an awards committee, and those have been selected, and looking forward to that event. One, I should have mentioned earlier, when the the detectives and folks were here from the sheriff's office. One thing I wanted to mention, even the county itself is impacted by crime at times, and Detective Evans, who was here, really worked diligently, and we had a check for close to $80,000, I believe it was. And I had lost hope, but she got all of it back except $10, I think, which we've offered to take out of county council's paycheck. But no, it was an amazing feat that she did, and that was just one item that impacted the county directly. So we're just thankful for their services. I also wanted to mention with National Book Month that our library had in 2024 over 100,000 visitors, I think more than 105,000 visitors, and not necessarily including all of the citizenship and language classes that are going on there. So I just wanted to point out that it's a great resource for the community, and of course we have branches in Sutter and Live Oak as well. So. And the museum, Trees and Traditions, is coming up. It's the first Friday, the 5th, I believe, in December from 6 to 9. It's $50 per ticket, and it's always a wonderful time. I think I don't know if this is the 50th one, but this year is the 50th anniversary, so I don't recall when they started those. Regardless, looking forward to that. And hope to see you there. Please check on the museum website or Facebook, or go over to the museum to get tickets. Again, $50 a piece there. So, and then one last thing I wanted to mention, the county received an award through Health and Human Services through the CalAIM Justice Involved project. And two of the folks who have been very involved in that, Sarah Eberhardt Rios and Dr. Liu, are here. And I just asked if Sarah could just give a quick, brief update on that.
Yes, absolutely. So I also want to recognize Under Sheriff and Andre from the Sheriff's Department, because really this is a jail medical program. And so this award was accepted by Health and Human Services staff, but it's representative of 15 agencies and probably 40 staff working really hard across those 15 agencies, none working harder than the jail and the custody staff. So essentially, the departments that worked on this included, of course, our sheriff's partners, probation, district attorney, public defender, of course, our health and human services branches of behavioral health, public health, employment and eligibility, the county administrator's office, our court partners, Ampla Health, Partnership Health Plan, and WellPath, the jail medical provider. And so I think no one system is really equipped funding and resource-wise to provide all of the supports necessary for folks that are in the justice-involved population. So collaboration is really necessary. And so our CalAIM Justice Involved grant and then program implementation just took all of us, and our award really was for collaboration and working together and bringing all of those agencies together to implement the program. So far, the program has served around 703 folks in screenings to see if they'd like to opt into the program. And so we've got 369 folks that have opted in, and what that means is there's a reentry plan when they go back out into the community, of course in support in some cases with probation, to try to give folks the very best chance they can when they're leaving the correctional setting in the community. And so the recidivism rate is 8%. That's very low comparatively. And so our goal is to really kind of help folks break a cycle of coming in and out of the jail. And so again, really want to acknowledge the jail team, and certainly Under Sheriff's going to make some comments as well.
We are not going to stand here and not give Sarah and her staff also a big, I'm just going to give her a hand. Yeah. We have sheriff's departments that reach out to us all the time about this program, and they're like, how do you guys collaborate so well? Because there's other departments that they battle, they fight, and I'll truly say it's because of the relationship that we have with Sarah and her staff, with Dr. Liu, with everybody. It truly is just a team effort. So you cannot just say with us without being with her as well. So just want to say Sarah's a big part of this.
Well, that's awesome. And I think we're going to give you all a round of applause for such a great job. Congratulations on that well-earned reward. Appreciate it. Okay, any further comments, Steve? Okay, I do have a question for you on the current boards and commissions. Can you quickly give us a reason why there's so many openings on Area 4 and Aging and Fish and Game Advisory? I mean, or maybe encourage us on something that we could do to fill these positions?
Yeah, I believe through the clerk's office that they are frequently advertised. So what I can do is reach out to our clerk recorder and, well, she's our ex officio clerk of the board, and work on seeing if we can get some additional advertisement out there for these to see if there's folks in the public that would like to participate.
And particularly, I'm looking at, Sutter County Advisory Commission on Aging, and all districts are open, for somebody, and the same for Fish and Game. So I'm just curious as to what the reason is. I mean, is it the meetings aren't?
Yeah, it can be tough with, people working. A lot of times we do get retired volunteers or folks that have more time to participate. Usually we have like Fish and Game, they usually meet in the evening. I'm not sure on the other, when the other meetings are. However, we can do that and also work with each of you to provide additional outreach to constituents that may be interested.
Yeah, and I think Steve has kind of hit it on the head for the Commission on Aging, and so that commission has disbanded since prior to COVID, mostly because of availability of volunteers and also staffing to support the commission. And then lastly, Area on Aging, Area 4, and that governance board has kind of served in that advisory role of the Commission on Aging, in addition to the Yuba City Commission on Aging, both of which have members on the Area on Aging, Area 4 board. So I think that's kind of served in that role of the Commission on Aging since prior to COVID.
So there's a possibility we don't even need to fill these positions, or maybe we should reconsider?
That could be something we look at.
Okay,
If the current structure is meeting our needs.
Great. It just it's popping up because there's so many openings.
Yes.
Right? So, okay, great. Well, thank you. Appreciate it. And I'll look forward to hearing what we can do about it. And then we'll move on to district reports. We'll start with Supervisor Boone.
No comment today.
That's unusual. You all right? Okay. All right. Write this down in the history books, everybody. Oh, great. I'm just kidding. Okay, Supervisor.
Nothing to report.
Wow, listen, this is something else today. Okay, so real quickly, and most importantly, I would like to request that a plaque be created in the honor of the Sutter County Museum's 50th anniversary, so we can do that. And then also a plaque for Ravjeet Mann, who recently completed the FBI National Academy. It's sort of a big deal, I'm told, so pretty amazing. So the FBI National Academy is a program for leaders in state, local, county, tribal, military, federal, and international law enforcement. It consists of a 10-week course in fitness, leadership, training, academics, at all levels, and it's a challenging. So they call it the Yellow Brick Road Fitness Test. I'm not sure, what is that? Tell us real quick. I'm just curious, what's the Yellow Brick Road? I'm not trying to extend the meeting, but.
Yeah, so the National Academy, so both the sheriff and I have graduated from it. It's very difficult to get in. It took us a little over 4 years to get Rob in. And it's a 10-week course in Quantico. So he's away from his family for 10 weeks. You have to do a ton of work, a ton of homework, and then you also have a physical fitness. It's both educational, and then also they have to do it, and the Yellow Brick Road is a 6-mile obstacle course that you have to run and successfully pass. And so you train for it throughout the whole time. It's a leadership class where it's only for law enforcement, but it's worldwide. So like when I went to the National Academy, one of my classmates was the Prince of Qatar.
Oh, wow.
So it's pretty amazing, and we definitely want to recognize Lieutenant Mann, who went there and successfully just kicked butt and really did a good job.
That's awesome. Well, all right, thank you for sharing it. None of us would pass that Yellow Brick Road test, but at least not up here. You guys can. But that's awesome. So yeah, we definitely will have that recognition. And then I'd like to do a special recognition today for Ron Erickson. Ron Erickson served at here. So I worked with Ron actually in the first couple of years that I was here, the board. And so I'd like to close in memory of Ron Erickson, who passed away on October 7th, 2025. Ron was a dedicated public servant who devoted 32 years of his life to the service of the citizens of Sutter County. Ron received a Bachelor of Arts degree from Utah State University and a Master of Arts degree from the University of Kansas. After serving as a captain of in the United States Army, Military Intelligence Branch in Munich, Germany, he received his law degree from the University of Pacific McGeorge Law School. While working as an attorney in the private sector, he earned a postdoctorate degree in taxation and business from McGeorge School of Law. In November of 1982, Ron began his career with the Office of Sutter County Counsel as extra help attorney, and in 1983 became a deputy county counsel. He was promoted to the position of assistant county counsel for 4 years, and later, upon retirement of his predecessor in September 2003, he was appointed to the position of Sutter County Counsel and held that position for 11 years until his retirement in 2014. Ron's extraordinary abilities as an attorney proved to be a great asset to Sutter County and earned him many accolades from judges, attorneys, board members, department heads, clients, and citizens of Sutter County. In addition, his exceptional advocacy skills and expertise proved to be invaluable in his representation of the county in complex land use and CEQA litigation. Ron earned the respect and appreciation of all those who had the privilege to work with him and the great admiration of those who had been under his supervision. Those serving under his leadership benefited tremendously from his extensive knowledge, exceptional writing skills, experience, and gracious mentoring. Ron had the unique ability to inspire, lead, and promote confidence in his deputies, and as a result of his 4 deputies, 3 have since become county councils, and 1 has become a Superior Court commissioner. Ron was a dedicated friend and a mentor with a passion for public service. To those who had the privilege of working with him, he set the standard for what a public servant should be and will be remembered as the benchmark for selfless public service. So we'll remember Ron, and these words were provided by our own counsel, Bill Vanasek. So thank you, Bill, for that commemoration, and we'll make sure we honor Ron. Thank you. And then one final person I'd like to honor as well, which will be a lot shorter because I don't have any words written, but it's Bill Simmons. He passed away last week. Bill was a former council member for City of Marysville, but he was also a Yuba County supervisor for many years. So if we could close in their memory, and I'd ask for a motion.
I make a motion?
Okay, motion. Second. All in favor of?
Aye.
Okay, great. Motion accepted. We have a closed session after this. Other than that, this meeting is adjourned. Thank you, guys. Have a great night.
Conference of Legal Counsel, existing litigation. Case name IU Mean Consulting and Investment versus County of Sutter et al. Case Sutter County Superior Court, case number CVCS 25-0001791, pursuant to Government Code Section 54956.9 D1.
What time? We got.
Monday before 11 a.m.
She said that?
Yes.
Tuesday,
9 a.m. or 11 a.m.
Oh, Monday before 11.